Today's question is simple on the surface. Why does mainstream Christianity believe Jesus died on a cross when Acts chapter 5 verse 30 plainly says he was hung on a tree? Let's sit with that. Acts chapter 5 verse 30 says, "The God of our ancestors raised up Jesus, whom you killed by hanging him on a tree." This isn't a mistake. This verse, along with a few others, opens a gate to a much deeper current, a current flowing through mysticism, mythology, and magic. A current that leads us not to an execution device, but to something alive, the tree. See, the tree has always been sacred, far more ancient than the Roman cross. And before Christianity co-opted the cross as its symbol of death and salvation, it symbolized something else: sacred union. The vertical beam, masculine. The horizontal beam, feminine. Together, they form a key, a union, an opening into something eternal. Long before the crucifix became mainstream, the ancients gave us the ankh, a cross with a loop, a womb and a phallus, a divine intersection of life-giving forces. The tree in mythology carries the same duality: the trunk, masculine, the branches, feminine. The tree is not just a plant, it's a bridge between earth and sky, between body and spirit, between the underworld and the divine. That's why the tree shows up everywhere. In Norse, Yggdrasil, hopefully I said that right. In Kabbalah's Etz Chaim, I don't know if I said that right either. And in every fairy tale forest where the hero must lose themselves to be remade. When we look into Kabbalistic and Qliphothic teachings, Jesus' so-called death aligns more with initiation than martyrdom. Both the tree of life and the Qliphothic tree of death require a descent into the abyss. In other words, you have to die to the old self, not in flesh, but in identity, ego, control, comfort. You must hang on your own tree, like Odin, like Christ, like countless mystics who left the known world behind and entered the mystery. Let's go to the red letters. Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. Mark chapter 8, verse 34. Luke chapter 9, verse 24. In each of these, Jesus says, "Take up your cross and follow me." Churches love to use this verse to glorify suffering, to turn spiritual growth into punishment. But what if it's not about pain, but balance? What if Jesus wasn't saying, "Get ready to die," but get ready to awaken? To climb the tree, to bear your cross, the sacred union of your masculine and feminine energies, to align your earthly instincts with divine awareness. That's not martyrdom, that's alchemy. Mainstream Christianity turned the cross into a weapon of shame, but long before that, it was a key. And the tree was never about torture. It was about transformation. It was the place where the veil gets thin, where flesh meets fire, where the seeker becomes the seer. So the next time you hear that Christ died on the cross, ask yourself, was that a literal death or a mystical one? And more importantly, have you taken up your own tree, not to die, but to become? Hey, ladies and gents. I just realized that I made a mistake when I was quoting scripture. The last one, Luke 9:24. It was not Luke 9:24. It was Luke 9:23. When I create a video, I try to go by truth. I'm not perfect. I do make mistakes. I do accept correction. So when I teach what I've come upon, I try to do it as accurately as possible. Thank you.